Jericho. I'm not talking about how awesome a Miz TV show was or a segment was recently or a Miz match was awesome. How often do you hear me come on my radio show and talk about how awesome a Miz match was, or play the Miz's entrance music, which I played for the first time in forever at the start of the show this week? You never hear me play the Miz's entrance music or talk about something phenomenal that the Miz did outside of the AJ Styles or the New Days of the world, because the New Days and the AJ Styles are what are actually relevant. And if you're talking about NXT, Apollo Crews and Samoa Joe, they're the ones who are relevant on NXT, and Alexis Bliss for the women of NXT, they are the ones who are relevant. Samoa Joe, Apollo Crews, and Alexis Bliss, they have futures that look very promising, or at least at this point, or from where I stand in wrestling, outside of what The Miz is doing right now. Don't be surprised if you go on .com 1 or 2 years from now, or even sooner, and read about how The Miz was either fired or released, because we have seen The Miz have this, whole thing happen for him. But the thing is, Miz TV is not the most promising thing that he has going on for him. People may look at Miz TV as a way of creating storylines for The Miz to be involved with different wrestlers in, probably for main events of Raw and SmackDown. But the thing is, he's not getting in main events from this segment, and this segment is going nowhere. If anything, the future isn't, and the focus is on all these new wrestlers that we don't really know that much about. And that's what the Miz is being used for, to put over people like AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and Apollo Crews, Alexis Bliss for the women of NXT. So, I think that the future is definitely lying in the hands, the focus is on all these wrestlers of the future, and as long as the focus lays on the futures of these young and promising wrestlers, we're not going to see anything done with The Miz, or at least not now. And if anything, The Miz is just serving his purpose of being annoying rather than being someone who is over, and it's going to be a long time before we do see The Miz have anything done relevant with his character, or he's the focus of WWE. It's 2016. It's not 2004 anymore, and The Miz has to stop living in the past of how he was a part of the Tough Enough, the $1 Million Tough Enough, which he was the runner-up on. Yeah, that was an impressive accomplishment. His resume definitely may speak for itself with over 12 championships, but what has he done in 10 or 11 years that's actually relevant now, in 2016? In 2016, I think I can get away with saying it's not about the Miz anymore. It's about the Apollo Crewses. It's about the Daniel Bryans. It's about the AJ Styles and the Samoa Joes. If anything, it's about everybody but the Miz. Am I right or am I wrong in having said anything that I have in this shoot video? I don't think I am, and I think that a lot of wrestling fans would find time in agreeing with everything I've said about the Miz's character and just how much the Miz seems to get on my nerves and never fails. And he's going to be getting on my nerves until the day I die, I know, and it's going to be a long time before I shake this feeling that I have about the Miz, because he just irks me. Everything he does, from his catchphrase awesome to how he puts himself over in these promos that sometimes go 5-10 minutes long, which is why I really appreciate and can't thank Dwayne Johnson enough for running him down on the Rock's first promo on Raw since 2014. The last time we saw him was in that promo with Rusev and Lana, playing up to their engagement, and then he followed up that 2 years later, and then he ran down the Miz, the first wrestler he came in contact with when he first showed up on Raw for the first time in years in Miami, once again returning home. Again, the Miz being used as a put-over wrestler. Is this really what we want to see, Miz fans? Because I know you guys do exist out there for Mike Mizanin, and how long is it going to be before we realize the Miz is actually irrelevant and anything but someone who is obviously over now in 2016? Let me put it to you this way. It's not 2004 anymore. It's 2016, a difference of 12 years. Yeah, the Miz may have been with WWE for over 10 plus years, a decade over that. But is he really relevant now in 2016? Because I think not. This is anything but awesome for Mike Mizanin's character and his future with WWE, and it's going to go a long way in benefiting wrestlers of the future. But it's not going to do anything for the Miz's character, and that is really unfortunate. I'm your host, Jonathan Clarke, and I will talk to you again next week.
Like what you hear? Tell us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
Don't go anywhere. HEW Entertainment Radio will return with the latest news, music, interviews, discussion, and Jonathan Clarke next.
When something takes place in the world of professional wrestling, you know where to go. WrestleZone.com. WrestleZone.com. Covering all the latest breaking news daily. Interactive forums where you can chat with thousands of other wrestling fans. Exclusive editorials and audio features by some of today's top wrestling superstars. Exclusive video content, weekly polls, live play-by-play coverage of every WWE and TNA pay-per-view. And now, featuring WrestleZone Radio, live with news, in-depth discussions, debates, and interviews with wrestling's top stars, past and present. When you think wrestling, think WrestleZone. WrestleZone.com.
He considers himself God's gift to wrestling, and millions of his faithful agree. With nearly 4 hours of footage and exclusive commentary and matches, this DVD chronicles Daniel's rise from Chicago's Windy City Wrestling to the Asylum in Nashville, and finally to the top of TNA. TNA Home Video presents Heaven Sent, Hell Bound, the best of Christopher Daniels. Available at most retailers and TNAWrestling.com.
Hey you right there, the one listening to this show. While you're tuning into this broadcast or when you read the news on WrestleZone.com, are you forming opinions of it all? Or do you just agree with everything you see and hear? If you actually have some sort of afterthought, which, by the way, is normal, we want to know what it is. There are thousands of wrestling fans just like you that simply can't hold their thoughts in either, and they let it all out in our interactive forums. You have a voice, so use it. Simply visit forums.WrestleZone.com. Don't just be active, be reactive in the official WrestleZone.com forums. For all the latest in mixed martial arts, be sure to visit WrestleZone's sister site, SureDog.com. Complete with daily news, exclusive video, interviews, live radio broadcast, interactive forums, and the very popular Fight Finder with bios and complete match-by-match histories of your favorite fighters. SureDog is the only place you need when it comes to mixed martial arts. Visit SureDog.com today.
Hi, my name is Adam Nudelman, but I play the Phantom on the radio. I'm here to remind you that, screw that, my book, Mysteries of Wrestling Solved, is available at finer bookstores everywhere. That stupid fake voice, I hate it. I wrote a book along with Sir Adam Kleinberg called Mysteries of Wrestling. It has the questions that you wanted answered. Why does Steve Austin hate Jeff Jarrett? Are referees really blind and stupid and dumb? Who is actually the toughest wrestler in the business outside of the ring? Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kamala. We get down and dirty with insider facts you've never read about anywhere else. So what are you waiting for? It makes a great stocking stuffer. You're too short, you buy 3 of them, you get taller, you just stand on them. Mysteries of Wrestling Solved by ECW Press, written by Sir Adam Kleinberg and Adam the Phantom Nudelman. Available everywhere. It's done. The plug is done. I'm done. I didn't sell it well enough. There's naked pictures of China in there. Okay? Thanks.
Available now on DVD. John Triton is on the toughest, most important mission of his life.
You have a hostage. It's my wife.
And with everything on the line,
I gotta do something, and I gotta do it now.
nothing